Today's show is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with the advertisers that fit your audience. That's Podgo at podgo.co. Podgo, that's where the pods go.
Hello and welcome to the Infectious Group Podcast, part of the Odd Pods Media Network. Recorded at the 33 1/3 Music Appreciation Center in Speakeasy, located just outside of Detroit, Michigan. The Infectious Group Podcast is your source for jammy jams, music news, and the best in-depth music discussion. Thanks for joining us. Now here are your hosts.
Oh boy, if we had a fun pre-show discussion leading up to this that should definitely reappear on some form of bonus episode in the future, because you wouldn't think getting Michelle to say her own name for a promo slot would be, how do I say this nicely, an area of opportunity. But it sure was. It sure was. Hey everybody, this is Russ, and along
Michelle.
with me is Michelle, who is well versed in her own name now, and Kyle is along with us.
Boy.
And we have got a cool episode per usual. We had another YouTube video go up last week, and just so everyone is aware, the plan going forward for that is to have a new YouTube video every Thursday, and it's going over pretty well so far. I tried to space out the different genres and stuff, just so everybody's not like, oh, it's all one artist or whatever. Because if I had my way, I'd just be like, the first 27 weeks would be like, and here's a regular old Pink Floyd pressing, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. So anyways, I tried to space that out and make sure there's plenty of stuff for everybody to be inclusive with, and have people, even if you don't like a certain artist, you might even watch the video and be like, oh, that packaging's super sweet or whatever. Like you were talking about with Watch the Throne.
Yeah.
Like the gold foil that's on the, it might be cool to see that, even if you're not into the record. So anyways, those videos are coming every Thursday. In addition to that, this week, we finally have the promised Arnel Pineda interview.
Yay!
Yeah.
Which, I don't want to oversell it before you guys hear it in the second half of this episode, but to say that Arnel was super kind and cool would be an understatement. You guys took a listen to it.
We sure did.
Yeah, he was real cool. Laid back dude. You would never expect that he is the lead singer of a band that plays to 100,000 people every night.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that was pretty sweet. And then we've got a whole bunch of other stuff to share with you in the first half, and then that interview in the second half. So let's get right to it.
Feedback, Joe.
Don't worry about that. Right. There's rock and roll be without feedback.
You're going to be so overjoyed, Michelle.
I was just about to say I don't want to hear the feedback this week because I feel like it's all negative
No,
towards me.
No, actually, we had another one of those weeks where a lot of people from their feedback said similar things, so I can just kind of include it as like a general, what the general thoughts were. But there was one piece of feedback for you that I will share. But you're going to love this because I got corrected again.
Oh, yes!
Yeah, there's a correction this week. There's a correction this week for me and a correction for Kyle.
Oh.
And actually, the correction for you is a snotty nitpick, but I'm gonna include it anyways.
Let's fight.
For me, Axl Rose was not the only person to ever turn down the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Sex Pistols did as well. Which, as soon as someone said that to me, I was like, oh, yeah, of course, the Sex Pistols turned it down.
That's not punk.
That makes
It's not
sense.
punk to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
So what I learned is that the Sex Pistols and Axl turned down being inducted in the Hall of Fame, and they inducted Axl anyways. Which is ridiculous. But anyway, so there's that. And then the feedback that we got on the episode was most people said that the loyalty to the people in the business mattered way more to them than anything else when thinking about shopping locally for records.
Yeah.
So there were people that gave us examples on Twitter, Instagram, and on some music forums of stores with great pricing and great selection that they'll never go into ever again because they for years have had this snotty, typical vinyl snob guy. And it was one of those things where I was telling you guys about how I will pay a little more now and again at Dearborn because I'm so fiercely local to their staff and their owner. You know?
Yeah.
And there was a guy that was saying that on one of the music forums that there's a store that he will never go in ever again, no matter what they have because of the attitude. But then there's another store that he will shop at because he's loyal to the people that work there. you know? So, and then another interesting thing that, and I think the same poster pointed it out too, was like, it was their opinion that you don't have to break your back to like make sure you're shopping everywhere locally all the time. That like if you do enough to help float the local economy, like you don't have to be worried about every single business that's local, you know? So now here we're blessed with enough record stores to where we can pick and choose. Like we can be like, well, I'm never going to that place ever again or whatever. But there might be a place with like one record store. And if the guy there's running his business poorly, you don't have to support him, just to support local business. For you, Michelle, there was at least one person who pointed out that it's not on my way to work is not a reason to not support
you don't say.
The local record store. We actually got that from two different people. One of them was one of our personal friends, so we'll take that offline.
Is it friend of the show, Joe?
No. I surprisingly didn't get any feedback from friend of the show, Joe.
He probably didn't even listen. He's doing his own podcast.
Yeah, I know. He's over in Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which is still the best name.
So funny.
And then for you, Kyle, there is a listener who would like you to know that it's Bon Iver, not Bon Iver.
Oh boy!
Which I have, by the way, both things I'm going to tell you. I have no horse in this race.
We've had that discussion before. I've said his name, and I was like, I don't know if that's how you say it.
And it's been pointed out that you keep saying him when it's a group.
I'm sorry, what now?
And I don't know what this means. Because like...
Is it like Dashboard Confession?
The only reason why my eyes perked up on it is because I'm so sensitive about the Pink Floyd thing, but I can prove to you that Pink Floyd is 4 people, whereas Bon Iver is every time he shows up somewhere, it's one dude.
I'm referencing the lead singer of Bon Iver.
Feel like,
what's his name?
I kind of feel like, isn't it a like a Nine Inch Nails situation where like, yeah, Nine Inch Nails is a band, but like really it's Trent Reznor?
To be honest with you, I have no clue.
Well, in the future, if you would say them.
On the Taylor Swift record, it's one human singing.
Yeah. Okay. So the
wait, hold on. Michelle has used the Google machine.
Oh boy.
The lead singer of Bon Iver is Justin Vernon. So his name is not Bon Iver.
Oh my God. Now, damn it. This week's feedback's going to be, it's Vernon.
Mind blown.
So we just need to do a little more research before we talk shit, huh?
No, well,
first of all, I was not talking shit about them. I like them.
I was just going to say, no one was talking shit.
That's what we do here.
But having said that, I always hear him referred to as...
So, now I'm confused. If there's one person singing on a Taylor Swift record, where is the rest of his band at?
Maybe they're playing the music.
Oh, boy.
I don't think so.
How would you know?
This is going to
Somebody answer this for us.
Yeah.
Somebody Google it.
Yeah. In the feedback this week, what we would like is for you to Google something for us and tell us.
Will you just explain it to me?
Yeah. Yeah. If anybody could, on a regular basis, just send Michelle the link for let me Google that for you.
Shut the fuck up.
I just had to Google something for her earlier.
You didn't have to. I just want to be clear.
Yes.
You didn't have to.
That's our agreement. He's my Googler.
Fantastic. Hey, speaking of Google. Music news. What kind of music news do we have this week, Kyle?
I think we should start with some shock drops.
Hashtag shock drops for the hashtag Super Americans.
It wasn't as big of a shock drop the second time because there was a bunch of spoilers that were floating around on the internet. But Eminem did drop that second part to Music to Be Murdered By called Side B.
Yeah.
And
which did you guys get a chance to listen to the whole thing?
I listened to the entire thing immediately when it went up online.
Okay, so I meant to.
Go on.
Yeah. Hold on. The shocking conclusion in just a moment. So I meant to, and I didn't get a chance to. And I wanted to ask your opinion on this. Did you listen to it too, Michelle, or no?
I only got to listen to like half.
Okay. Someone last night I saw post exactly this sentence. It's like Encore, but good. Would you agree with that?
No.
Man. I think Kyle likes Encore.
Huh? No, not really.
Okay.
I don't.
If y'all want to get into second gear here,
I don't.
You're going to want to slowly release that clutch.
I don't really dislike anything that Eminem's done, to be honest with you. I can tolerate it. Tolerate it all. Relapse is not very good, but I can tolerate it.
No, did you hear that friend of the show, Joe? Relapse is not very good.
He's
Go
not
on.
listening anymore.
You know what? And I said this to you too after I listened to it, is that it's different than the first part of Music to Be Murdered By. Mm-hmm. But then I started to like dig into it and started to realize that like the only thing that makes that first album a concept album is the album artwork and the interludes that have Alfred Hitchcock in them. The songs that have nothing to do with...
Yeah, so I liked the first one a lot, but I was immediately disappointed when I listened to it. When I saw the artwork and I heard the first Hitchcock thing, I was like, oh, this is going to be sweet. Yeah. And then it was like, it had nothing to do with anything. So, and I was like, oh, that's a bummer.
And if you dig deeper into it, you can say that he's murdering the tracks because he's a great rapper, and in return, you're being murdered by listening to them. Yeah, so you can do that, and I didn't, when I listened to the second one, I was like, this should be a whole separate album. Like, why is it side B? Yeah. It should just be a new album.
Should have done what Taylor Swift did, like, entirely
yeah,
different.
It should be just a totally different thing, because it has nothing to do, there's a couple more Hitchcock interludes and whatnot. I gotta assume
that's a record label guy. Some exec was like, it's branding, call it the same thing as the first one.
Yeah, and that's fine, and I guess if you're gonna...
For that matter, Marshall Mathers LP2 really shouldn't be called the Marshall Mathers LP2. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really an extension of the first one.
And it was weird to me that they, on streaming, so all the new, like, there's like 16 songs, I think, or something like that. They come first now that they're new. Mm-hmm. But like, to me, if it was side B, it would be the original, and then they would come second. Yeah. But they probably wanted everyone to listen to them first, right? I don't know what the reasoning for that was.
Yeah, but it's weird. Well, either way, I'm just hoping it comes out on vinyl so I can buy it, because I just got around to buying the first one. It's more of him just showcasing the massive amount of skills that he has as a wordsmith and songwriter and whatnot. It's actually pretty incredible. Which I get. Yeah. What else went on in the music news? There was also another shock drop that I forgot to talk to you guys about. Sure. Mike Posner released a new album. Oh, right on. And it's not, it's only 36 minutes long. And there's like a whole disclaimer at the beginning of it. And he states that if you don't have 36 minutes to dedicate to listening to this thing all the way through, then to not start it until you do. That's right. And so I started listening. That's like some artsy fartsy crap that Michelle would get mad about and I would praise. And I'm like, don't tell me what to do, Mike Posner. You would absolutely be like, I started listening to it. And then when he said that, I was like, oh, well, I don't have time for this shit right now. I'm doing something else. Yeah. So I just stopped listening to it. I stopped listening to it, and then I went back again when I had a half hour to dedicate to it and listen to the entire thing. And damn it, it's awesome. That's right. It's I don't even know how you is it a track that opens the record where he's like, it's him saying, if you don't have time for this? Yeah, it's just him talking. It's just him talking. That's great. Yeah. It's called, Roger Waters should have done that on the Animals tour. It's called Operation Wake Up. Okay. And it's a concept album, and you just have to listen to it. It's not going to make any sense if I try to go into it and explain stuff about it, but you have to go and listen to it, and you absolutely should. 36 minutes, that's not a lot to ask for. It deserves equally as much attention as the Eminem album. Nice. For different reasons, but cool. As much attention. Right on. What else? There was at least a couple other music stories. Yeah, a couple of people broke into a storage locker in Nashville and stole a bunch of really important music equipment, memorabilia. My only thoughts on this, honestly, is can you stop? You know what I mean? Like, do you really? Okay, so if you stole, which, by the way, the two biggest names I saw on it was Eddie Van Halen and Prince. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you stole some Prince and some Eddie Van Halen material, who are you going to sell that to? Yeah, you have to sit on all of it because you can't unload it because everyone knows where it belongs. Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, who is going to want to be associated at all with a stolen guitar? They're hoping there's going to be a reward, and they're like, look what I found in the dumpster. Yeah. Yeah. I just was walking along, and I saw this red, white, and black striped guitar laying in there, and it wasn't the Frankenstein. It was stolen because that's in the Smithsonian, but it was estimated that at least $50,000 in gear and memorabilia were taken. Yeah. And I don't know if they've gotten any further along to figure out who it was, or that's probably leads or whatever. That's probably face value of the instruments, because there's no way each piece would be worth more than that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's probably like, because you figure an off the rack Strat, if Prince played an off the rack Strat, it's like going to be $1,200 for the guitar, but then Prince touching it, it's going to make it worth 10 times that. So yeah, when I read that, I was just like, just quit being a scumbag. Just give it back. And like, when you're going to steal from such iconic artists, like, there's no one on earth that's going to buy that from you for what you want to get from it. So when things like that happen, I often wonder, like, did they just have a lead on that, like, all this special stuff was kept in the storage locker, or were they just breaking the storage lockers and were like, holy shit, like, this is a gold mine? Yeah. Holy crap. Yeah. It's weird. Who knows? But it just knock it off. Stop stealing people's stuff. Yeah, give the shit back. You're not going to be able to do anything with it. It's going to sit in your living room, you're going to stare at it, and you're going to show your friends, and you're going to get caught. So just give it back. Yeah, like, what is it, Ted 2 with Joel McHale? Where he's like, see that right there? That's Lance Armstrong's nut. So anyways, what else happened in music news? There is a new law that's been proposed that could make streaming copyrighted material a felony, which is ridiculous. So I don't know how much you guys looked into this story, but this is one of those things where it's some people ruin it for the rest of us. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so because this bill is coming about because of people who sit on Twitch And okay, so back when the lockdowns first happened, I was going live on Twitch before they changed the DCMA rules, and I was spinning records down here. But like, I wasn't asking for like super chats and tips or any money at all. And like, if anybody tried to, I would have been like, no, like, you know, like I'm just trying to give people some sort of community. Well, there's people that will like sit on Twitch with like their Spotify account, take requests, and like talk to people.
What the fuck?
And so it's those people that are ruining it for the rest of us because they're taking like super chats. Like, you can pay me $2 to click on Spotify. Like, you know, like I'll do that for you.
So not only is that dumb, but that takes some balls,
right?
To just to be like, here, give me money, and I'm going to play you music that's not mine.
So there's two things that about this whole thing that is real dumb. Is one, like all things, a blanket policy is never the thing that's going to work. Like, you just don't come along, and you know, it's like when Napster first came about, and the first thing you heard of is like a 12-year-old that got sued for, you know, $100,000 or whatever else. Like, just going about these things blindly is not the best way to go about it. And then the other thing is the fair use law really needs to get cleared up before we proceed with any sort of, because our show, if you read the fair use law, shows like ours fall absolutely under fair law. It's transformative and reviewing content. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we, by all means, when we're talking about our jammy jams or whatever, because we're doing critique and transforming the material, we should be allowed all day long to play the song while we're talking about it or whatever. But we can't, because there's some idiot out there who's got, quote unquote, a podcast where it's just them playing songs that are copyrighted with no commentary at all whatsoever. And then they're like getting, you know, paid supporters and whatnot. So this one senator is now like, okay, well, let's put everybody in jail over it. Like, well, that worked so well with pot for 40 years. So like, let's try it with the copyrights. You know? Like, we didn't end up overpopulated in the incarcerated at all. It's just one of those things where like, what I think this is like the shock and awe version. Like, we're going to start at 110 degrees and then see what somebody else proposes way down here. And then we'll meet up somewhere in the middle. But to me, they're focusing on the wrong thing as always. First, like, they need to get their shit together as far as the fair use law goes. Right. Define what is fair use, give away for creators like us, whether it's on YouTube or not. Like, for example, on our YouTube channel right now, if I talk about an album all day long, I'm legally protected from, like, I could, if I'm going to talk about the, you know, a regular pressing of Thriller versus a half-speed master pressing of Thriller, I should legally be allowed to drop the needle on both, on like Billie Jean from both pressings to show you the difference. Yeah. Right? But if as soon as, I mean, you won't even get to the bass line on that song and that video will get taken down and we'll get a copyright strike because there is some idiot who makes money off of his YouTube channel by just playing Billie Jean. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what Kyle found the other day was somebody on YouTube was testing out sound systems and playing full songs.
Yeah, on this high-end like audio equipment that you'd never be able to afford. But it's full entire songs of Chris Stapleton, Dire Straits, like all these bands, and it just plays all the way through. And I was able to listen to the entire thing. Yep. And
how do they get by?
It because the whole thing is a mess. And so then there's like, I've talked to you guys before about Rick Beato that does a lot of, his channel on YouTube is called Everything in Music. And he gets way over my head a lot with like music theory, but he also does these series called What Makes This Song Great? Yeah. Where he like breaks down the sections of every single, he does like a lot of, earlier today I was watching, he had the top 20 guitar intros of all time. And he was able to go along and play like some of the most recognizable stuff, Sweet Home Alabama, Smells Like Teen Spirit. And he was able to play this stuff and he's got all the gear so it sounds exactly like the original anyways. And then he got to, it was either number 2 or number 1 with Sweet Child of Mine. And he was like, and I can't play the song because as soon as I play it, the video will get taken down. So like it's some artists are harder on it than others.
There's also a bunch of vocal coaches that like will critique performances and people singing and whatnot, and they play the entire clip or several clips of songs.
Supposed to be allowed to. Yeah. So some people, but then like within that one video from Rick Beato, he played like some of the most recognizable stuff. There was 2. It was Iron Man and Sweet Child of Mine. He was like, I can't play this riff, but like he was like, at number 7 is Iron Man, you know the riff. Like he couldn't even say what the riff was, or actually play the riff. So it's just a mess. And we need to get that down before we worry about throwing people in prison. But the copyright laws are so backwards. And of course, I'm the last person to want to make light of this, but the example I can give you for how backwards copyright laws are, Dr. Conrad Murray, I'm not sure if you know the name. He's the one that physically took Michael Jackson from us. Right. Okay. He got 3 years in prison for killing Michael Jackson, and a person who pirated Thriller got 30 years in prison. So to be clear, by the current laws, if you steal a copy of Thriller, you get 30 years in prison. But if you kill the guy that made it, you get 3 years in prison. Like, that's how backwards the copyright laws
That makes
are.
no sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what? You know, how is that even remotely sane?
And also, this comes up every couple of years, is that no matter how hard the government tries, they really have no say-so in what goes on the internet.
Right.
Because it's still very much the wild, wild west, and what will happen on the internet will happen no matter who says it can happen and who says it can't happen.
Well, once the pandemic gets out of the way, I think net neutrality is going to come back in a big way as far as a talking point, because remember how that was huge.
Yeah, it was a big deal for a minute.
And then the pandemic happened, and everybody was like, well, hold on, let's worry about not dying.
Yeah.
And then but I think this same time next year, we're going to be having whole episodes on net neutrality coming back in a big way. So we'll see what happens with it.
There's always some old man that's like, well, we can just do this and put them all in jail. And
first of all, that's not exactly how Don Henley sounds.
Are these people super Americans by any chance?
Yes.
What's funny is every single time because just last night we had people over to Spin Records, and of course the topic came up, and the first name out of everybody's mouth is always Don Henley when they're like when they're insulting. Like somebody else was like, somebody had made a point last night, and somebody else immediately was like, yeah, well, Don Henley, blah, and I was like,
and half the time it's some guy from the Senate or whatever. These guys have no horse in the race.
I'm so glad you brought this up. You know who this guy's biggest campaign contributors are?
Who? The record labels, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're never going to believe this, but Sony Music, BMG, the Record Association of America.
So instead of them being the evil guy, they pay him to be the evil guy and then catch all the shit for it.
Yeah, they're going to go and pay this guy. And it's like, well, if that's not corrupt, I don't know what is.
We've cracked the case.
Like, this 80-year-old dude doesn't care at all.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, why does these people have no say in anything that goes on?
Because
like
the people who care about their copyrights are the ones putting, and again, we talked about this on full episodes before. It's like in retail, they teach you that 99% of loss prevention comes from internal. Mm-hmm. Like, so you're wasting so much time and productivity on watching your customers that are in the store because they're 1% of your actual loss comes from that. And that's what it is. It's like 1% of the loss is that guy sitting on Twitch. You could gain the other 99% by allowing people like the three of us to sit around. Like, look at the feedback we get on the show, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
listening to the show makes me appreciate music more, right? So like, if you stop me from talking about and playing this music and getting more people to hear, you're losing that 99%, because you're worried about the one guy that's sitting on Twitch.
Yep. And I think that they also go through back doors like that because there's a fine line, because if you're a big record label and you poke the bear too many times, then you're going to have all your artists be like, you know what? Fine. Yeah. And you're going to have a bunch of Sturgill Simpsons on your hand, and they're just going to be like, F you, we're going to go do our own shit and we don't need you. Yeah. And they very much need artists to be a record label. So,
right. Well, to quote the movie Spinal Tap, there's a fine line between clever and stupid, and record labels do not know that line.
Yes.
They've shown us that over and over.
That's accurate.
Hey, speaking of us trying to sell music for record labels, our jammies. So I have two songs that have been stuck in my head, and then an artist that's been stuck in my head because of a documentary that I watched. Mm-hmm. The two songs that have been stuck in my head for no reason whatsoever. I haven't even had the full lyrics of, but just the vocal bass line for Don't Worry, Be Happy has been stuck in my head all week. Almost like Peter Griffin's theme music.
Yes.
Like, I'll just be walking along in public and it's like in the back of my head, and I'm just like, all right, well, cool. And I mean, that's a hell of a song. Like, when it was out, people were like, I'm going to kill you the next time I hear that song, but because it was played all the time. But I just love the fact that, like, there's not an instrument on that record. Everything on that record is Bobby McFerrin's voice or body in some way, shape, or form, which I think is cool.
Are there farts on there?
But what's that?
Are there farts on there?
I do not believe there are any farts in it. I think there's probably a remix, like on a 12-inch single that you could get. But literally all this week, if I'm just walking through a store, in my head, it's been like,
So that's your theme. That's your theme music this week,
right? Yes, yes. As a matter of fact, and then the other one is, the whole song is brilliant, but for some reason, I've just had the intro. Like, if I'm just sitting here doing nothing, I will hear this intro in my head out of nowhere. Is "I'm a Believer" by the Monkees. Like the way with the keys with the do, and then right into that rip,
you know. Sure, it's not the what is it, Smash Mouth? That does
I'm
it
100% positive. I don't even have anything against Smash Mouth. Like, I never did in the first place. And then when I heard about what happened with the lead singer and his daughter and stuff, it was just
what happened?
The lead singer's daughter passed away very young. Yeah, it's like Vince Neil and Motley Crue. As much as you want to make fun of Vince, like, he still had a daughter pass away from cancer cancer at like age 3. And so you got to just back off events sometimes, you know. And I never even had a huge problem with Smash Mouth in the first place. And then when I heard that, anytime someone makes a Smash Mouth joke, I'm always like, no, that's off limits. But and they don't even do a bad job on I'm a Believer, but the original is just great.
It is.
And then the other one is I finally got around to watching, it's brand new, but it took me longer than I wanted to get to it, is HBO Max has a documentary about the Bee Gees called How Do You Mend a Broken Heart? It is fantastic. And so for most people, the Bee Gees exist from like 76 to 80. Jive talking through Tragedy, and like that's it. And then there's like the huge peak of the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack in the middle, Staying Alive, How Deep Is Your Love, all that stuff. But the Bee Gees were already a huge group in England and broken up by 1969. Like almost a full 10 years before. Yeah, like already a huge group and broken up by 69. And the only way when I was a kid that I was like, wait a minute, the Bee Gees were a thing before disco, was Elvis used to regularly cover a song called Words in like 70 and 71 that I loved. And then I was looking at an album one day and the writing credit said Gibb. And I was like, oh, like the Bee Gees, you know, like maybe it was like an older relative. Oh no. There's the Bee Gees, like wrote it, you know. And so that's when years ago, when I came into that, I was like, the early material is good enough for Elvis to cover. And it's completely different. The earlier stuff sounds like the last 2 Beatles records. Huh. Yeah, it's like psychedelic-ish stuff. Anyways, and they were a huge band, and so they go through a lot of that, and then of course they cover in depth like what the era everyone knows, and then they do touch a little bit. The only thing I was disappointed with is, and I always almost feel like I nutshell this for everybody, but in the 80s you couldn't sell a Bee Gees record anymore. It's like I talk about with Warrant, where I'm like, if you put their material out with someone else's name on it, it would sell. But if you put Warrant out, people would be like, Cherry Pie Guys, I'm not listening to that. So the Bee Gees in the 80s, you couldn't sell a record with Bee Gees on the cover, so they just wrote songs for everybody else, and no one knew it. Like Heartbreaker for Dionne Warwick was #1. Islands in the Stream is like, to this day, is huge. And so in the 80s, they just shifted gears, and they were like, okay, well, we'll just stay, like, if you don't want to hear from us, we'll just stay home and write all these songs, and you'll still be buying Bee Gees music. Right. You know, you just won't know it. But they didn't go in as, like, I wanted them to go more in depth on that. Maybe how the meetings they had with the label where that was decided, but they literally said the same thing in the doc that I always tell everybody. It's like, well, in the 80s it wasn't cool to be Bee Gees, so they just wrote songs for other people. and I was like, all right, you know. But it's a fantastic doc, and because of that, I've been listening to just a crap ton of Bee Gees.
That's
and
unfortunate
they actually tell you a story in the movie on how the high voice thing came about, because all of their earlier stuff is not like that at all. And there's literally one song that the high voice came about because of, and then they were like, oh, that's money, we're doing that from here out. And then they sold a gajillion records. That's an accurate number, by the way. If you look it up, it is 1 gajillion.
I don't know how to Google, so I'll have to take your word for it.
Later on, Kyle will Google it for you. But just know it's going to say 1 gajillion. So anyway, so a bunch of Bee Gees before and after their break. And which, by the way, there's a whole story about how the drums on Staying Alive were made. And when you watch that part of the movie, you'll just be like, I never noticed that before, but that's amazing. Like, and they actually like recreate it in the movie to show how they did it. It's really, it's really cool. But anyways, and it's very sad as it gets toward the end, because of course Robin and Maurice have passed away, and Barry's the last man standing. So it's like they use archival footage of Robin and Maurice throughout the years, but then the whole thing has got Barry now through it. And as you might imagine, you know, at the end, he's not like, yay, they're gone. Like, he's very sad over the fact that his brothers are gone. So anyways, those have been mine. Kyle, what have your Jamie Jams been?
It's been all Eminem and Mike Posner. Music to be Murdered by Side B.
So I know
I already forgot the name of the Mike Posner album. Sorry.
When we put together the playlist, I know I'm going to be like, whatever songs Kyle wants off of Eminem.
Which I love, by the way.
So my question, what do you want me to do? Talk to your old man. Tell him to bring songs. It doesn't matter if he tells us on the show or if he tells you in the house.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
What was the other thing, though, that I was going to say about Mike Posner? Oh, so you were talking about it being like a piece you should take in all at once. Like, can you put a song or two from it on the playlist, or would it be better just to say, hey, everybody, go listen to that record?
Yeah, I'm not going to put it on I will put Mike Posner on the playlist, but I'm not going to put his new album. Because
when we have the blog post made, I'll just say, like,
because it is, the entire thing is a story, and you have to listen to it from point A to point B, because it's not going to make any sense if you don't.
Well, and the wall is that way, and no one cares. Like, no one ever cares. Like, you hear the same 3 songs from the wall on the radio all the time, and I'm always like, when Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 came out, teachers would get really mad, and the band have to keep being like, it's part of a story. Yeah, this is not we're not telling people to shut the schools down. You know.
And to be honest with you, I would have never noticed but he went out of his way to use the first half of the first track to explain that you should listen to it all at once.
Which is
it's not very long. It's not going to take that much time. It's called Operation Wake Up. It's not going to be on the playlist, but you need to go.
Are you sure it's not called Operation Wake Up? Makeup.
It is not called
that. Is that how that goes?
Yes, that's exactly how it goes, yes.
I listened to the Eminem album as soon as it dropped at midnight, like 12:01. I was on it, listening to it. Listened to it all the way through, and then I went to go listen to the Mike Posner thing, and then I heard that he, didn't want you to unless you're going to listen to the whole thing. I was like, I'm not doing this right now. Mm-hmm. Next day, I went back and listened to it, and it's, both.
The last time Roger Waters put out a record, it was like 2 days after it came out, and somebody was like, "Oh, what do you think about the new Roger Waters?" And I was like, "I haven't had time to listen to the whole thing yet, so I'm not going to till like because he's like famous for putting out concept records, But I wish Roger Waters would do that. Just start a record, and be like, "Don't here's the conditions under which you should." I'm surprised Roger Waters hasn't done that.
You have to sign a waiver when you buy the record.
When I saw him in '99, there was like a whole thing that got printed out because it was like when you could first start printing your tickets before Ticketmaster had the nerve to charge you to print your own tickets. Yeah. There was a second page that would print out with like all the rules that Roger would like you to follow at a Roger Waters concert for like paying attention to him. I made sure to follow all the rules. You would have been so proud. I followed them.
And for those of you who don't know who Mike Posner is, I'll put songs on the playlist that you will have heard before, and then you'll be, oh, that's Mike Posner. And then you can go and listen to the new album.
Right on. Sweet. And then we'll just do it the normal way, and Michelle will be happy.
Yes.
So, Michelle, you're not going to have to go out of your way. You're already here. This isn't going to be a big pain for you. Please share your jammy jams with everyone.
I only have one.
Oh, that's better than last week. You're like, I was struggling with music this week. While I was editing that episode last week, and I'm sitting down here, and the waveform goes by and says, I was struggling with music this week. Out loud, I said, she struggles with music every week.
The only song that has been stuck in my head that I keep putting on is I Feel Fine by the Beatles.
That's jam.
The guitar riff at the beginning, like just if you're having a bad day,
you throw that Day Tripper and I'm a Believer on the same playlist, and you got some rocking.
Yeah, if you're having a bad day, you can't even help but be super excited when that song comes on.
Yeah.
So
I still that Rick Beato video I was watching with the 100 greatest guitar intros of all time. I remember now. Number one was "Help" by the Beatles because of that, or not? Was it "Help" or "Hard Day's Night"? The one note, the boom. I can't. I feel so dumb that I can't think of what song it is right now.
Keep going.
Well, it either goes help, I need somebody, or it's been it's one or the other.
I feel like it might be hard.
But it was funny to me though that the number one was just one note, but it's like that perfect note, that you hit. And don't worry, we're going to get feedback on this because I know of at least 3 or 4 major Beatles fans that are going to be like, "How did you not know?" Oh, wow! Are you trying to get us put in prison?
Yeah, $50,000 fine, man.
So I feel fine. That riff is so rad, though.
It's such a good riff.
Yeah,
it came on the radio because apparently I'm the only person on planet Earth that still listens to the radio. I've learned recently, and then now I've just been playing it on repeat at work and at home. And
I'm honestly shocked you didn't listen to the new Eminem since you were such a huge, massive fan of the first one.
Well, anyways, I listened to half of it, but it wasn't my jammy jam of the week. Okay, get off my back.
And on that pleasant note, we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we have a quick bit of information about Arnel Pineda, then we will have that interview for you. We'll be back in just a second.
Welcome everybody to the Passerby Podcast.
Whoa, dude. No. This is our promo, not the show. I'm Rico.
Oh, sorry. I'm CJ, and we're the hosts of the Passerby Podcast.
We're fans of pretty much anything and everything pop culture, including movies, TV shows, books, video games, comics, music, and of course, Kevin Smith. Now, while we do keep our fingers on the pulse of Silent Bob, he certainly doesn't need our help in promoting him.
You got that right. We do our own thing, with inspiration from the man himself and his mantra of why not. We've got stories about celebrities we've interviewed, theories of our own for certain movies, and we can usually tend to have a great debate about anything.
We also do commentaries on movies. Sometimes we ask our fans what they want to watch with us. So if you love the timbre of our vocal cords and want to watch a movie at the same time, give us a listen.
Stay tuned every Monday. There's always something new. And if you've been good this year, we may even give you a bonus episode from time to time.
So please be good and subscribe to and enjoy Passerby, founding member of the Odd Pods Media Network.
I'm Miles from the Disc Dump Podcast. Do you have a mountain of DVDs, games, or music that you just can't decide what to do with? I do too. And the Disc Dump Podcast is all about deciding what you want to keep and what you want to dump. Do you like trying terrible drinks?
Pumpkin pie soda. And at the bottom, it says, y'all get your fixins.
How about exploring weird ads for websites like Wish.com?
Okay, so it's one of those silicone torsos.
And you get it right on the head of the silicone torso.
Matt has an advantage on this one.
Do you want deep intellectual discussions about the finer points of music, cinema, or game design?
I have no idea where I am right now, so.
Then check out the Disc Dump Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. And that's disc with a C, by the way.
I'm Midnight Agent Raw. And I'm Okami. We are the Super Media Bros Podcast. And each week, we give a comedic take on all forms of entertainment, such as movies, music, video games, television, and much more. So put your shades on and listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Shades on. We're off.
We are back, and we got all of our regular segments out of the way, so now we are really excited and pleased to bring you our main topic, which this week is an interview with the one and only Arnel Pineda. And Arnel, you should know if you're a fan of Journey. He has been the lead singer and the voice in Journey since 2008, and I think both of you know this story, but you know how Arnel was found, right?
Yes, I do know.
I believe I watched a whole documentary about that whole thing that happened.
Found through YouTube, which is amazing. And I'm actually going to put on the playlist this week. They released the last studio album from Journey. Comes with a bonus disc that's all their classic songs in the studio with Arnel singing them.
That's awesome.
And like most, if you could put those versions on for most anybody and they would have no idea that it's not Steve Perry singing it. But going into this video, or this interview rather, I have never spoken to him. I didn't know what kind of demeanor he would have. And he was awesome. We got into, we talked about his charity, which is really, really something cool that he's involved in. His Christmas single, which benefits his charity. Talked about new music, Steve Perry, and of course, my favorite topic, how there's no such thing as South Detroit. So we'll bring that to you right now. Here's our interview with Arnel Pineda of Journey, and we will be back in just a second. Hey, Arnel, are you there?
Hello, sir. Yeah.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Hey,
how are you?
Not too bad at all. I'm Russ. I'm with the Infectious Group podcast over here in Detroit.
Yeah.
So
Ross, right?
Yep.
All right. Detroit.
Yes, sir.
Born and raised, right? South Detroit.
I was going to say, I would imagine you never get sick of hearing that, huh? South Detroit.
Is there really such a place like South Detroit?
No, and actually, I always tell people that because just south of Detroit is Canada. There's the river, and then Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's funny, but it makes for one heck of a sing along, though, doesn't it?
But yeah, how could Jonathan and Steve come up with that word, right? with that place, right? The South Detroit.
Yeah, I've actually, side note, but I've looked into that quite a bit for years because I was always like, why did they write that when there's no South Detroit? So yeah, but the information's out there.
I know, right?
Yeah. So how are you doing, man? It's Sunday morning for you, Saturday night for me. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. So how was your day?
Good, real good. We're just at the tail end of our day here, so it's.
Oh my God! Yeah. About to retire, right?
Yeah, just about. So I'm excited to talk to you because, I mean, obviously, our listeners know you as the voice of Journey. I mean, you sound amazing singing all those songs like we referenced that we love. But you
thank you.
Oh, thank you. You currently have a charity single that you have done as a solo project, and we're real excited about it. Now, I know the song is called This Christmas, A Beacon of Hope, and it's out now. Do you mind telling me a little bit about the song?
Well, it's a song that I wrote back in 2014, and I was able to finish recording 2015 because it took a while to record it. Like it was because I was constantly touring with the band, and I gotta finish that first before I have to put a lot of effort on my on my song. So I guess I was able to finish it like late 2015, and then I was able to release it 2016 first, and then that song is like is a song that is, that I wrote because of, being inspired from this choir of kids from slum areas. They live there. You cannot believe how great these kids are sounding. They're so good that it's like it gave a spark in my head, to come up with the melody of this song, and then a few lyrics. So I worked on it really, for quite a while, and then when it's finally been released, like 2016, it was just there in Spotify and iTunes, but I don't know. There's not so much kind of. I don't know. There's the attention that it's getting is not so much. So I thought of re-releasing it this year with a little twist of collaborating with my daughter, because I also thought that it was timely and appropriate, and because of what's happening to us these days, the pandemic, especially us here in the Philippines. It's not only that pandemic, the eruption of the Taal volcano, and then the two typhoons that this caused a lot of property damages, a lot of people losing their houses, their properties, and then our agricultural, a lot of farmers, lost their livelihood because their lands are their crops are really completely damaged, but almost, I don't know, the damage is almost $1 billion.
Yeah, which in addition to what everyone else is dealing with in the world, to have that on top is just,
So I guess this Christmas is, it's messages, it's about hope, it's about freedom, it's about gifts that, what we can do to all of our loved ones, to all of the people out there was kind of feeling hopeless already or in despair because of of the of their situation, and we can be that little Santa to them, So it's
Yeah, absolutely, to bring any sort of hope and joy and gifts. Sure. Yeah. So this single is benefiting the Arnel Pineda Foundation. Tell us a little bit about the charity. How did that come about? How did you set that up in order to give back?
My friends, I first set it up with my friends from the States who lives in California, in LA and San Francisco. So they helped me put it up back in 2009, and then back then we were doing a lot of medical mission, feeding program, and then we have these donors around the states, and I was willing to help us to support what our advocacies are, and then eventually after 3 years we formed it again here in the Philippines to be able to support 34 scholars that we have now. So the main advocacy of the APFI now is about education. Luring in these kids, was really, underprivileged, and you're living in slum areas and cannot afford to go to school anymore, and their parents, would rather have them, scavenge garbages around the streets, and or some little girls there, being at the early age, they're being prostitutes, or so, and then the boys are being snatchers, those petty crimes that they do, just to get by, begging money, or searching for leftover foods in the garbages. So I thought, our foundation would be able to, to be able to convince them that that is not the future for them, and that education is a better future for them, to be able for them to get out of the darkness and get into the light, and and help their loved ones, to support them.
That's awesome. How does it feel? That's got to be a great feeling for you, coming from the Philippines, and you've had this opportunity, and you've seen so much success and great things come to you, but then to be able to turn around and give hope and a chance and a better path to other people. How does that feel for you to be able to do that?
Of course, I'm very thankful. I'm very grateful. I'm very privileged, and to see just out of 34, to see just one or two of them become successful, it would be a huge success already to us. And then what more, for us to be able to make to change the lives of those 34 scholars that we have now is would really be a heavenly feeling. I completely owe it to our loyal and faithful donors for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Really, and I'm just really compelled with this position right now I'm in, and I'm just thankful. So that's why I really took advantage of that position, and and put it to good and has put it to good years. And because I know in my own little way I can try to make a little difference in this world, because with the kind of work we're in now, it's kind of dangerous,
mm-hmm.
a lot of fighting around the world, a lot of disagreements, a lot of everybody wants something, and then but in a bad way,
Yeah.
and then the real victims are the general mass, and that we can't do anything about it, because the leaders of the nations are either they're prideful or not willing to compromise, or
Right.
I don't know what they want, but it's just
Yeah.
it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Well, I'll tell you, we're thankful for people like you that want to use your position, to help, to bring hope and joy. And like you said, even if you change one life, what a success that is, because how many other lives can that possibly affect,
Yeah.
So, you have a great fan base. Journey, of course, has a great fan base. I know that we can go on Spotify or any streaming service and find the single This Christmas, A Beacon of Hope. How can fans, if they want to help out, like where would I go to help donate to the Arnel Pineda Foundation if I want?
We have a page on Facebook that that they can get in touch with our volunteers and staff. We have people that we're willing to help you out, to direct you how to do it with them. And if you want to donate anything, those old clothes that you've got, and then spare cents that you have, it would be such a huge help already.
Literally every little bit helps, right? And if someone, if someone goes to Facebook and just looks up the Arnel Pineda Foundation, they can find out how they can help.
Yes, just like how singing said it. Every little thing you do will be magic.
Yeah. Yep.
It will be magic. Yeah, it's gonna heal. It's gonna give comfort. It's gonna give hope to the poor ones out there.
I'll tell you, man, we're an audio podcast, but just the look of joy on your face that I see, like while you talk about being able to give, that makes my heart warm. That makes me. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And and we have a pretty solid listener base, and I would really like it if a lot of listeners go and take a listen to this song, and hear Arnel's message of hope, and joy and things. When we turn on the news, we see so much bleak things happening all around. And if you just take 4 or 5 minutes to listen to you spread that message of joy, and like I say, and what I can see in the look on your face now, like the way you want to help, we need more of that in the world. That's absolutely what we need.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I can't let you get out of here without talking a little bit about the future for music. Can we expect maybe more charity singles or from you or Journey in the future?
Yes, of course. More charity singles. I'm working on right now on my solo EP album, and then of course the bigger one. It's another album from Journey. We're working on that. We just finished three songs, and then I'm working on another 3 songs. Another set of 3 songs that I need to finish maybe until the end of December. So they would have at least 6. But we're targeting 12 songs in an album, for Journey. And then on February 21 of 2021, I'm streaming online. It's a concert of mine that we're going to stream online with my partner Renee Walter of Sunray Entertainment Limited. And if you want tickets for that, please go to www.sunraystreaming.com.
Okay.
It's kind of a revolutionary thing because I'm going to be inside a geodesic dome with a 360 degrees interactive panels.
Wow.
Where I could interact with the fans, with the friends, with people who was interested to see the whole show.
That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah. And we will when we post all the info about this, we'll make sure to share that link too. And you said February 21st?
February 21st, 2021.
Okay, awesome. Go ahead.
I'm not too busy, sir. I'm not too busy.
Yeah. So, and that's my question. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen next summer. But last summer, you were supposed to do a great big stadium tour with Journey. Are you? I'm not going to ask because you don't know if and when that's going to happen.
I'm not. Well, I'll give you a hint. I guess all of us are just waiting for the best vaccine we can get out there. Once that happens, we'll go out on tour. Whenever that happens.
Yeah.
That's the best vaccine because we can't and we can't let the fans down. Because this year is such a bummer. For everybody. It's like the world stood still because of this. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
And that's why I really commend and praise and admire all those frontliners out there, really, around the world, not only here in the Philippines. Those who deliver foods for us, those who was facing the danger of getting infected, our doctors, our nurses, our health workers, and, our firemen, our policemen, our military. It's just very commendable. They are our future heroes right now. So thank you.
I have a friend who's a nurse, and she's in and out of COVID units and everything. And I tell her she's the biggest hero I know. To face that every day as your chosen calling, and be right there on the front line.
Ryan, knowing they came there and then they got to go home and thinking, oh my God. Am I going to infect my my loved ones because I work like this, my line of work is like this. And it's just the fears and then the courage that they have, all together inside their heart and their soul. It's just amazing. I'm sure it's a curse. It's a curse and a blessing at the same time, to help.
And that's exactly how she describes it. Yeah, that's exactly how she describes it. What I do like, though, is you're not the first artist we've talked to that's finding a great way to use this downtime and do what you can, to help spread this. And, I love that you already have your face lit up when I said, hey, do you have any other charity plans? And it's, oh, yes, I have all these plans. And that's great. Are you anxious to, when we get through all of this, return to the road and really get back out there and be with the crowds? Or are you okay with using this downtime to spread some joy the way you are?
You know what? I'm not okay, but then we got to think about our health and our lives and, the welfare of our loved ones. That's why it's kind of okay, but then again, my artistic side, it's crying out like, oh my God, when is this gonna happen? To express yourself and be with these people again, with these happy people. With I want to hear how they scream again and they sing along with the songs. Pretty much, the legacy of Journey. One of the most favorites, from in America, and in Europe. So you can't miss that show, especially with the hardcore fans of Journey, and then the new fans that we have gathered, since of my inception, with the band.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got it. I'm sure you hear this all the time, but I many times I will play the studio tracks from Revelation for folks with your vocals.
And
I've had more than a few people, brother, say, "Oh, you're kidding. There's no way that's not Steve Perry." I said, "No, I tell you that's," and then yeah. So
thank you so much. It's an honor, sir. You know what? To tell you honestly, I mean, really, in all honesty, I would rather listen to Steve Perry's voice when I listen to Journey. I'm telling you, until now.
Yeah.
It's like I cringe. I cringe like that when I hear my voice with the band. You know?
Yeah, but I think we're all like that, you know. I'll tell you though, this wasn't even in my notes, and I'll let you go here in a minute. But I loved that Steve gave you such a great shout out at the when he was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I thought that was sweet.
I know, it's so gracious and so generous of him. You know, I cannot believe, I mean, how kind he was, how welcoming he was when he embraced me, and I've embraced, and I looked him in the eyes, you know.
Yeah.
That honesty, I felt it, you know, when he looked at me straight in the eye and he told me, you know, that, you know, it's amazing to meet you, and then thanking me up in the stage. I was like literally just 18 feet away from him, behind him, and he was thanking me in front of, you know, a sold out crowd in Barclay Arena, and for my relentless and tirelessly singing the legacy, you know, for the past like 10 years. So he was like, I mean, I don't know. It was one of the most glorious moment of my life, you know, meeting him like that.
I was excited. I was excited for you watching it, and this is the first time we've ever met. You know, so I was.
You know, brother. It's like a 35-year wait, and when it happened, it was just like, oh my God, I was like numb for a while. Like for 2 seconds, I was like so numb. When I saw him, it's like, oh, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, like.
That's awesome.
Like,
I can't even imagine that. I can't even wrap my head around that. And then to be in that situation, and like you said, and have it be so gracious and welcoming with, you know, it was just, and it really came across in the TV broadcast as well. Well, listen, brother, I really appreciate the time. I hope you have a great day there, and I hope your foundation does real well.
You too, sir.
Yeah, and when you come around, we'll see you in not South Detroit next time you come around.
Yes. And not so South Detroit, okay?
Right on.
Take care, brother, and Merry Christmas.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Right, bye.
Right, so there is our interview with Arnel Pineda, and like I told you guys, wasn't he super duper cool?
He called you bro?
He called me bro. He called me brother. Yeah, which I thought was awesome. And like, I know we don't run video on this show, but he was just like, his face lit up every time we talked about the charity.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so awesome that a guy who because he left home at 15 years old and lived on the streets of Manila, and now he's in a position to where instead of sitting around being like, oh, that's terrible, what's happening back there, like he's like on the front lines, and, you know, back at home trying. And even when we did the interview, it was Saturday night for me and Sunday morning for him, you know, because he's in Manila, you know, doing what's important to him around the holidays. And then words cannot describe how excited I was to have someone confirm from me within the Journey camp that there is in fact no such thing as South Detroit, because I've brought that up so many times through the year, and it's almost like people are tired of me talking about it.
What?
But that can't be true.
No.
So anyways, if you take away anything from our interview with Arnel Pineda, I would like it to be that you should go to Spotify and listen to his Christmas single. We'll put it on our playlist, and make sure to go to Facebook or the website that he mentioned and get involved. It's not even just, you don't have to give money. Any old stuff you have sitting around the house, you can set up for them to take and give it to people who really, really need it. We didn't get into it in the interview, but just to give you an idea, you know how we're all dealing with the pandemic? Manila, the Philippines, have had 3 major earthquakes this year in addition to what's going on with the pandemic. So
that's crazy.
To say that they are in need would be an understatement. And I just love the fact that the lead singer for Journey is able to do something and is doing something. So that's what we have for you this week. If you are new to the show, remember that we have a YouTube page, or you can just go to YouTube and search for Infectious Groove Podcast, and you will find that. And make sure you're subscribed to this show, because we have a couple of exciting things coming up to round out the year. Then it's the time of the year Michelle gets so excited for. It's that sweet 2-week break between seasons. So we will have a new episodes for you until the first week of January. January. Then Michelle's going to get her sweet 2 weeks off. Now, maybe in that time you can drive to Dearborn Music. You'll have time to drive.
I'll have so much time to go to Dearborn Music.
10 minutes. Let's see if we can make it on the way to something for you.
Oh, yeah. There's tons of restaurants down there I'd rather eat at.
There you go. And then we will return in the last week of January with the kickoff to season 3 that we have something kind of special planned for, because not only is it the kickoff to season 3, but the week that episode comes out will be exactly 1 year since we started this immense and amazing project.
Yeah.
So,
that's crazy. It's almost been a year already.
I know, we're getting there. Yeah. Well, I mean, a year if you discount the couple of times we had to take 2-week breaks for something. so like 48 weeks instead of 52.
I mean, like a 2-week brain cleanse.
Right, from all of the thinking that you put into every episode.
Yeah.
Right. Next week, we are going to have a kind of a fun little topic that I think, whether or not you agree with everything we have to say or not, it'll be something interesting for you to think on, is artists or songs that you've changed your mind about over the years. Somebody that came out and you were all about it and then not now at all, or vice versa. Like I think I have more of those than anything. Ones that when they came out, I was like, not up in here. And then 3 or 4 albums later, I was like, it was awesome. Is that person everyone else liked already?
I'm right all the time, so.
Yeah. Except for, there's a record that, we'll get into it later. There is some record that you're not right on, but I can't, the name escapes me.
Is it Bon Iver?
Yeah.
Bon Iver?
It's that record by him.
Yeah.
As we always say, to wrap things up, without music, life would be a mistake. Bye.
The Infectious Groove podcast is hosted by Russ Robinson, Kyle Wimple, and Michelle Koselecki. Produced and edited by Russ Robinson. Intro and outro music composed by Chris Kimmel. Opening credits read by Stacey Robinson. Recorded with a Rode Podcaster Pro and Rode Pod mics.